Okay.
Maybe. Are we live, people? Did I press live in all the right places? Is the question. Let's refresh. You never know with this new. Oh no. Yeah, wait, we're live. We're super official over here and definitely professional.
Yes.
All right. If you guys can see this, yes, okay, officially, we are live. That is hysterical. Okay, awesome. You guys, I'm so excited. You're probably like, wow, you're very casual today, which, we always are. But what's so fun is the person that brought you guys today for this training is my friend. And so it's like we're just catching up with girls here. So if you guys are not aware, this is Crystal Nichols. We met actually through Group Track years ago. She came to us as a top earner in her network marketing company. I think she's like number one or number two in her actual business. And she is one of those ladies that has just built her business to, $1 million years. She's collected over 6 million, which if you really think about that, right, as a network marketer leader, that's how much she collected. Think about how much she's actually had to sell to collect that amount. So when we talk about Crystal being a badass leader who knows what she needs to do in order to get sales and to lead a team to get the same results, Crystal is the girl. And so I wanted to bring her in today just to get to know you guys and to get a very tactical training on how to get eyeballs, right? So everything we're talking about in our Facebook group this week is how to get more attention. Because this is the truth, right? We've talked about this a lot in 2024, where basically, the people with the attention, the people with the skills, and the people who are in the conversations are those who are going to win. And so what we want to help you guys with this week is how to get that attention. And so as I am, gearing up to support you guys, I was like, okay, Crystal, you've got to come in and teach my friends all the things that they need to know. So Crystal, thank you for being here. We're super excited to hear exactly how you're going to teach us on how to get more attention through our social media so we can get into conversations. But welcome. We're so happy to have you.
Thank you. I'm excited to be here. And first of all, I just have to give Jenna some major props and love back. I have been working with Jenna for probably 6 years. And you guys, she is my all time favorite mentor. I would give her my money all day long because she is so much value. She has taught me so much. And so, anyways, just it's an honor to be here with Jenna because Jenna's like my celebrity crush. And I've actually met her in person, and she is absolutely as amazing in real life as she is online. So, anyways, just want to throw that out there. So, thank you for having me. I am so
So
excited to be here.
much love. So much love. I love it. Awesome. Well, again, like I said, if I'm going to bring anybody into our community, they're going to be the best because we don't let everybody come in and coach our clients. And so, in the chat, guys, let me know if you guys are focused on putting out content and you are getting crickets. Just give us a crickets in the chat because again, I know this is one of those things where people are being told by everybody content, content, content. And then there's really two problems. You either get a lot of, engagement, but then you don't follow up and convert those people. Or the other problem is you literally get crickets. And I would say the majority of people are in that second problem area, which is that they're just getting crickets, right? I think a lot of people are like, I would love to have so many people that I can't physically follow up. And that's where you are, right? So can you just start out by kind of sharing like, what are some of the things and the results that you're seeing in your own business with your content and your conversions and all the things that are happening, just so we can like set the tone of what's possible.
Absolutely. So, I have been working this strategy for a couple of months now. I've been building it. I'll get to that backstory here in a second. But I'm getting a lot more reach and a lot more views on all my content that I'm putting out there across all the channels, TikTok, Facebook, and Instagram, right? Because I've decided to figure out all three of them because they all coincide.
Yep.
And what's happening is I've really started to I started to put the whole process into place, right? And last week alone, I had over 17 new clients enroll. And
Whoa.
yeah, yeah. So I signed up 17 clients, and the conversion was simple because of the content I'm creating and putting out there. It didn't take me much effort to sell in the DMs once I got into a conversation,
Yeah.
which is important because it needs to be a really simple, flawless process, right?
Yeah. I think that's the big thing too. It's like, I think people get very confused, right? Like they think, oh, I need to go viral. I need to go viral. I need to go viral. And yes, getting attention is going to be really important in this market. But I also want to be clear that like likes, follows, views does not always equal dollars. And so that's why, we kind of joked with the title of like, oh, you need to go viral, come to this training. But Crystal doesn't just focus on going viral because again, it's like, if you could hear me, and I'm sure you've heard my Jenna rants where I'm like, it's like, oh, let's get on a follow train. I'm like, why on earth would we do this? Or buying fake followers. It may make you feel good that you have these people, but my big question is, are you making money? And here's the truth. I think that, if influencers would actually take what people in the coaching world are doing and apply that to what they're doing, they would make so much more money. Because here's the truth. There are so many people with so many followers, so many views, all the things that make way less money than you and I do, right? And all of the coaches that are watching this. And the reason is because they're just focused on virality, they're not focused on monetization. And so, what I'm super excited about is for you to walk us through the process of like, what do you need to actually do to get attention on your product, or excuse me, your content, so that you can then get into the DMs and sell them your products or services. So let's get into like the juicy stuff.
Absolutely, absolutely. Okay, and I'm so excited that you brought that up because I will just tell you, I would rather have 1,000 raving fans than 1,000,000 followers who did
Amen.
nothing. And I'll tell you, and you can speak to this too. I've made 6 million social selling with 1,000 raving fans,
Right.
right? But the problem is not everybody has that. In the market in the post-COVID era, things have shifted so dramatically, right? Let me back up a little bit. I started this journey about a year ago. So I've been in social selling for over a decade. And I feel like the way things were 10 years ago when I started has shifted so dramatically. You cannot just throw up a post about what you're selling and get people to comment and then go sell the DMs. It doesn't work that way anymore. And that's what's broken right now with marketers across the board, whether you're in network marketing, direct selling, whether you have a coaching practice, you want the same tactics to work that did and they don't. You get
Praise.
strategies, right? We've got to keep that so we don't become obsolete. And that's the thing about it. So many marketers and online coaches are becoming obsolete. Their trainings have huge value. They don't know how to market themselves.
Yeah.
Or all their marketing is around everything they sell all the time. They don't know how to put the chocolate out there. Jenna term that I have
It's actually
adopted.
Dan Martell.
Yeah.
Yep. Yeah.
Yes. I got it from Jenna, but it's absolutely truth. Okay. So it's absolute truth. So last year I thought numbers were going down. People's marketing was just absolutely terrible. And I thought, I've got to figure this out. Like, this is my livelihood. Online marketing and social selling is how I pay my bills and feed my kids.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So if I don't produce, then we don't eat. So that's a pretty big, gap that I had to fill.
Yeah.
So I actually started looking at what these influencers were doing. I thought, there's something here. They're getting these followers. But then I started studying it and I realized that a lot of influencers do not make the kind of money that I was already making.
Thank you.
Yes. And I thought, how do we take this principle and this concept of getting these followers going viral, but then converting them to the sales that I want to make,
Can we
right?
get an amen in the chat, you guys? Like just like Crystal is saying everything that I say all the time, which is again like, and here's the thing, I want to just like share the truth a little bit, right? When I met Crystal too, the reason she hired me to work with her privately is because she had a Facebook group that had 300,000 members in it. And again, when we talk about, back in the day in 2020, that was the jam. It was like get as many people in a community as you possibly can, put up a post, people buy. And all of a sudden, that started to shift. And I think that's what's beautiful is that she kind of has been in that era where it worked and realized very quickly as the market shifted, she had to shift as well. And so that's like the number one thing I want you guys to hear from this training is it's not even about numbers anymore. And I will tell you, it's actually easier to sell to a small group than it is to a big one. But what's important as we're getting our content out there, and again, content could be a reel, a short, a post, a picture. It doesn't matter. We're not talking like you don't have to do all these crazy dance moves because believe me, that's not going to happen, right? But what we need to do is number one, create the content. Number two, post it for the love, just push play or publish, and then make sure that as you're getting the eyeballs on it, that we're actually following through. So what are your tactical tips? If you were going to come tell our audience, like, look, This is what you need to do in order to actually get more attention, get more eyeballs, get more engagement on your stuff so that you can actually have conversations and convert. Where would you start?
Absolutely. Okay, so let me just put this out there first. I'm going to back up just a tiny bit. So Jenna's absolutely right. You don't need to go viral. I went viral and I figured out how to go viral because I'm not going to teach something that I can't become the absolute best at, right? But I'm telling you, you don't have to go viral to create the strategy and monetize it. And in fact, it's not really that big of a deal, but the strategy to go viral will work. And if you go viral, great. Okay. So absolutely. Okay. So there's a couple of things that we've got to narrow down. First of all, Instagram and Facebook are becoming super micro niched, okay? Super micro niched if you're wanting to get more followers organically. So you've got to figure out which one of your pillars that you're going to talk about and which one you can bring the most value from, okay? And especially with Instagram, Facebook is a little bit more forgiving. Instagram is way micro niched, okay? You cannot be all over the place on Instagram. So let me just tell you a little bit about my journey and how I started figuring this out. I love to cook. I love to bake sourdough. I have a little mini farm. I am an online social seller and I'm a girl mom. I'm a salty girl mom of 3 girls. I thought, Jenna, that my micro niche was going to be around baking and social selling. And I thought people are going to love to follow me for this stuff. No, crickets. It didn't matter that I had made 6 million in social selling. People didn't really want to follow me for that content. What took off for me was my salty, sarcastic girl mom humor,
Love it.
ironically enough. And so you're thinking, okay, great. How do you monetize that?
Right, right.
Right? How do you sell with that? Well, first of all, the reason that that was so important to figure out my micro niche, even though it didn't really necessarily have anything to do with my business, is I started creating a following of people that were like minded, just like me. They
Yes.
were mothers of teenagers. They found humor in what I did. They lived the same lifestyles that I did. They spent the same kind of money that I wanted to spend, right? And so they started to have believability and connectability with me. They thought, oh, we like her. So then
Right.
what do you do when you start to build that relationship? You start to build that credibility with your audience. Then you're able to sell to them, right?
Right.
Does that make sense? Okay.
Yep.
So then we learned this simple strategy that we figure out our micro niche, we produce content around that, and then you can start putting in your conversion content. I teach you how to do that in stories. I teach you how to do that in short form video. I teach you how to do that in posts, right? Because I learned from the best. Jenna has taught me how to do that, right? Yeah, she's the best. Just a little plug for Jenna. But that's how you do it. And so you create the followers and you create the people that are your raving fans through your micro niche, through whatever they want to follow you for, whatever you bring value. If you go on Instagram and follow me, it's this is Crystal Nichols, this under slash is under slash Crystal Nichols. My reels are hilarious. But
Yes.
I'll tell you, okay, this is where we get to the meat and the potatoes of it. Not everybody is going to do reels like I do. In fact, I would suggest that you don't because my micro niche is probably not going to be Jenna's micro niche. In fact, I know it's not because she's a boy mom and I'm a girl mom, right? Okay.
Right.
So first of all, you got to figure out what that is, and that's what we're going to dig through in the cohort that I've got coming up. We're going to figure out what that is and laser it down for you. I've got some analytics and some things that I run to figure that out. We don't just throw spaghetti against the wall and hope it sticks, right? Because that's not strategy. Strategy is my number one skill. So everything has a strategy.
Right.
Just
Well, and
general.
I'm sitting here thinking too, like, oh, this would be so helpful because, like, even I'm like, wait, what is mine? Right. Like, I would guess, and I will be honest, like, I am the worst at Instagram. I just have never put attention on it. Like, Facebook is my jam. It's where I have my followers, it's where I go. But I do know it's important to be omnipresent. And so, right now, what I do is I just take my reels and I just repost them on Facebook or Instagram. You know what I mean? Like, I'm not doing anything to get in front of my niche, but it's interesting. So, I just want to connect the dots for everybody who's listening. She is selling social sells things like how to go viral, how to do content, how to make money online as a mother, right? And so you might think, oh, her niche is people who want to work from home. But what she's not doing is that, right? So I want to just be clear. It's like what you think it is not always what it should be, right? So again, like my mind, I'm like, oh, I sell to coaches, course creators, blah, blah, blah. That's what I should talk about. But it's probably not actually what's going to get me the attention, right? And so again, I just want to make sure everybody's grabbing that concept that her niche wasn't actually people who want to work from home. It was moms of girls that want similar lifestyle and can connect with where she is in her life journey so that she could be like, oh, by the way, here's how I fund this life with my girls as a single mom, right? And so those are the people that she's getting their attention so that she can be like, well, I can help you doing it by selling things on social media, right? So I just want to like really paint the picture for everybody.
Exactly.
Is that tracking? Let us know in the chat. Just say tracking if that's tracking.
Okay, and just to like give you a little bit of like a upper level thing, like for you on your Instagram today, you know what I think would be a huge hot micro niche for you? Okay, your Jenna rants, your Jenna isms,
Yeah.
all funny little humor, like from a CEO of a multiple seven-figure business, and your little provocative, hilarious sayings would
Yeah.
be real for you. Yeah,
Yeah, no, I think part of what it is, like literally, so the other day I did a reel. I put it on Facebook, I didn't put it on Instagram, but it was how I was trying to make pulled pork because my husband was out of town. And I'm sitting there trying to make the thing. I don't cook. Like I'm an actual idiot in the kitchen. Like I'll just own it, right? And it was so funny because I had a little aha moment as I mean, like one of the things I'm like, is the pulled pork supposed to pull itself, right? Because that's just how weird I am. And I was like, what the heck? Why is this not making itself? Right. But someone commented on it and was like, oh my gosh, I feel so much better about myself. I just watched a video of you talking about how you make $1 million in your coaching SaaS company. But then I walk over here and I'm watching you and I realized you literally don't know how to heat up pulled pork. You are so much more relatable. And I think that could be something that I lean into like, look, you don't have to be smart, you don't have to be polished, you don't have to be these things to have a successful business. So I think that's kind of where, I might lean in kind of like what you're saying.
absolutely. And it would create a bigger following, but you would start to attract those people that are just like you because I know a lot of techie people that have what you do, but they don't cook. They don't do domestic things. And I think you anyway, so that's just a fun little side
Yeah, I
note.
like
But that's what I had to figure out to draw in my people,
yeah,
right?
yeah,
Okay, so talk about the actual strategy to actually get the followers,
love
right?
it.
Like what does the content actually look like? Because we can sit here and tell you all day long, oh, go create the content. And you're like, but what do I do? There's
Yes.
adjectives. Okay. The first three things. The hook is super valuable. And if you've ever been a part of Jenna's training, she teaches you that's kind of the chocolate, right?
Yeah.
Break it down even more because we're micro niching you. Like we got to figure out because Jenna's micro niche and my micro niche aren't going to be your micro niche, and that's okay.
Yeah.
The hook is going to be super important. So I've actually got a free hooks sheet. If you want it, say hooks. I will send it to you after this training. I'll get it to you. It's fantastic. I've written them out. I've used these. I've tested them. They work. Okay. The
Awesome.
hook is so important. So if you notice when you're scrolling through your social, notice what you're watching and what you're grabbing. There's a good hook. Okay. You've got to be able to emulate that and do the same thing. Okay. So the hook is so important. I've got that sheet for you. The second thing that you're going to want to have is the payoff. Do not tell somebody that you're going to teach them said skill and then not end with that. Okay.
Because we want them to continue, right? So what I think you're telling us is like hook them in the beginning with whatever the like thing is that's gonna like get you to stop. Then we're gonna tell them, I'm gonna teach you this thing or whatever. But like, so imagine, right? If I had done that entire reel and like the reel is like, a picture of me putting the big thing in the pot. Stop. Then I'm like, oh my God, is the pulled pork gonna pull itself? Stop. Me crying and talking to the dog, like at least you'll eat my food, right? And then if I hadn't at the end showed the picture of my kids being like, this is disgusting, we would have done all that work to like get you bought into the story and then have no payoff, right? And so talk a little bit about how do we tell them like what's coming and how to like hang on.
Okay, well, that just depends for each person. So I've actually created another free tool for you guys for that, my format sheet. Yeah. Well, you can't do this without some help. So format, if you want the format sheet, say format because like Jenna said, I tried the cooking videos, but I'm actually a really good cook. So my niche didn't really want that from me. They're like,
Yeah.
oh, you make it look too easy, right? And I do. I love to bake. I have sourdough starter. I have chickens, I have fresh eggs. Yeah.
Send me your food.
Yeah, I totally will. Yeah. So they didn't want that from me, but I had to figure out what my format for short form video was. You're not going to probably see Jenna jumping around and being salty with her teenage daughters because she doesn't have teenage daughters.
Right.
But you can see me doing that, right? We like to be goofy and we play it up. Okay. You might be more of an education platform. Like I've got a coaching client that I work with. She's a college professor. She actually educates people on how to go to college for the first year. It's brilliant. And people love her content because she gives you so much free value. Okay. She's not going to do what I do. So if you want the format sheet to figure out what the videos, the short form videos and the content that you're going to put out there, say format. I'll get that to you.
Amazing.
It's valuable. It breaks it down. It keeps it super simple. So yeah, the payoff is important depending on where you're going and what you're trying to do. So let me just tell you a little bit of an example. So Salty Teen Mom here. So one of the first viral videos that I had on Instagram that took off like crazy actually said to all the teens out there being raised by 80s babies who survived the 90s, whose parents didn't have, social media. We didn't have curfews. We didn't have cell phones, right? And then the hook or the payoff was how's Life 360 treating y'all?
Well, that's
You know,
great. Which
yeah,
by just got Life 360, and I am obsessed with stalking my family. It is amazing. Oh, who knew? If you don't have Life 360, what are you even doing?
right, right.
Yes.
Okay, so that's important. So that was the payoff. Does that make sense? I had the hook,
Yep.
the payoff. But in between there, so the third thing in there is the lulls. We gotta kill the lulls because
Okay.
if your lulls are killing you, right? And
Oh,
we're gonna get into that. I'm gonna show you how to go in there, how to read through your analytics on the backside of it because Instagram is so great. It shows you. It shows you. Most people don't know how to read that. And so in the cohort, we're gonna learn how to break it all down, how to fix it, and how to see it to make it better in the future so we get more followers because the algorithm is insane. Okay. So you've got your hooks, your payoff, and your lulls. You got to have a good hook. You got to have a good payoff. You got to kill the lulls. Those are your first two things. Okay. So then as we kind of move on and we get that looked at, then there's three more components to the content that's going to grab you some followers. Okay. Are you ready for these? If you're taking notes, write these down. These are important. Relatability, shareability, and repeatability. Okay. So uh, let me ask you this, Jenna. Whenever do you have like a little small group of friends where you guys send each other memes and reels and things back and forth all day every day and you're like, "Oh my gosh, you're so in my head. This is so funny. You see
it's
my soul."
yes, yes, absolutely. It's usually me sending them and no one sends them to me, but I am like,
Yeah, that you see my soul. I've got like 5 friends and they could be I mean, I would be afraid to let people see them because sometimes they're so funny and we're
yeah,
so ornery with our jokes, but we see each other, right? So that's the kind of thing that you've got to get into. You've got to think about shareability.
right.
Like, I want people to share my content because when you start getting shares, right? Likes are good, comments are good, shares are golden. That's where the followers come from. When they share, then their friends like, "Oh my gosh, this is so funny. I'm going to go follow her and get more of her funny, relatable, educational, inspirational content. Whatever it is your jam, your format." Again, I'm going to send that to you.
Yep.
So important, okay? Um so we've also got to make sure that our content is relatable to a big enough audience, okay? Your micro niche can't be so micro that nobody is in the niche.
Yeah.
Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Super important for that. And then the last one is repeatability, okay? It was easy for me to create videos with my chickens. It was really repeatable. Nobody wanted that content.
Yeah.
So when I started figuring out that salty teenage girl, divorced mom, single mom content was what my niche wanted, it was really easy for me to make more repeatable. And now every time I post something, it gets shared and
Yeah.
it views and it gets more followers, right? So that's the difference because just like you said, we don't want the creepy bot followers from spammy pammy
Right.
bot, right? We want the organic followers. And I'll be super transparent with you guys. My Instagram account isn't huge. I started off with 1,200 people 3 months ago, and I'm up to almost 6,000 now.
That's a
So
big jump.
yeah, it's a big jump, but it's
That's a
organic.
big jump on Instagram. That's not easy to do.
No, it's not easy to do. But with this strategy and with us digging in and doing all the analytics, it's so possible and it's so simple, right? That anybody can do it. And that's what I wanted to figure out. I wanted to figure out how we could do that because then the last thing that I'm going to teach you in my cohort is how to convert with those conversion content to get people to send you a DM to make that quick sell. So,
Which is, again, like, why are we posting all this content if we're not actually going to get in conversion conversations? Like, that's the thing I want to scream more than anything. What is the point of all the posting, all the engagement, all the thinking, all the like recording, all of the everything, We are here to make money and to impact the world, not to get likes. Like, I'm not here for vanity metrics, right? Like, those do not pay my bills. What pays my bills is clients. And so again, if you're going to do all of these things, it has to have that last piece, which obviously, Crystal, can you talk a little bit about how you use Group Track as part of that process?
Oh my gosh, group chat is invaluable. I have group chat running right this minute on a separate computer, sending messages for the cohort to everybody that I know is interested in it because they raised their hand on a conversion reel or a conversion post or a conversion story.
Right.
They raised their hand. They liked it, they commented it, they shared it. Guess what? They got a message, right? They're in my funnel. They're getting a message right now. A message that Jenna helped me craft at some point because she is genius, right? And I also have the Group Tracks Pro for Instagram and for Facebook, right? But I'm telling you, this strategy is so amazing to work alongside with Group Tracks because you need people to send messages to that are warm. We want to be converting warm clients. It's too hard to take somebody cold. So just like Jenna said, I'm not here for vanity metrics. You don't see me posting about anything that I'm not inadvertently selling.
Right.
Okay. So you're not going to see me say something about like I see people all the time. They're like, "What's your favorite vacuum cleaner?"
Yeah. Engagement for engagement.
Engagement for engagement. Okay, well maybe you're getting a little bit from the algorithm, but are you selling vacuum cleaners? If you're not, let's not post about it.
Yeah.
You know, your kids are cute and that's fun, but how are you correlating that back to your business, right? But that's the pre-COVID mindset of socialization on Facebook and Instagram,
Right.
and it's not working. It's broken, and you're going to become obsolete if you keep doing it.
Yes, thank you for lovingly yelling at our community. We're saying it with love, and that's the thing, right? Like, if we don't pivot, you're gonna be stuck. And we're already seeing that a lot of people are, their businesses are slowing, their businesses are closing. And it's not that what you have isn't still relevant or amazing and needed. It is simply that you have not pivoted your strategy to meet the demands of the new noise and the new stuff, right? And here's the thing, like, again, it used to just be that if you had skills, you could sell. But now you have to have attention plus skills. And I think that's what's really cool about what both of us teach, which is let us give you the strategy and the skills. And then, of course, we give you the system, which is Group Track. But without those things, you're not going to do very well, right? You have to have all of those pieces because, again, we are so anti just cold DMing, cold messaging random people and making them offers. And why are we? Well, because it doesn't work, right? And so again, what we can do through your strategy is get the attention, get the right people focused on you, then have those strategic conversations where you bring in the skill and the tool.
Absolutely. And just one more little thought process too, because
Yeah.
you are in pipelines, which everybody should be in pipelines. If you're not in pipelines, go join pipelines today. Best money you've ever spent. Jenna teaches us how to go into yellow car parking lots, right? To get more leads. Okay, well, you get more leads from yellow car parking lots, and then you're posting about vacuum cleaners on your Facebook. You're not keeping those yellow cars warmed up to your concept of what you're trying to sell. You're not going to convert them. She's handing them to you on a silver platter, but you still got to convert them, right? And so that's where our strategies really do come together and marry so well. Yeah.
I love it. I have like the weirdest lighting on me today. Look at this. I'm like, look, pay attention to me.
It's beautiful. I think it's like angels shining on you.
I think yes, it must be. Oh my goodness.
I like off from above.
I know. I'm like, where is this coming from? This is cracking me up. We have a window up here. Okay, well, this has been amazing. And you guys, what I would love for you to do is just in the chat, let us know what is your number one takeaway. What is like the big thing that you are hearing as Crystal and I are showing up for this co-rant, which is for the love. If you want to make sales in 2024, number one, you absolutely have to have attention. If no one knows you exist, no one is there to actually have a conversation unless you do cold DMing, which is not going to work. So number one, you absolutely need attention, eyeballs. You need to get in front of them. The second thing is you need for those people to actually engage, right? It's not enough for them just to watch or look or read your content. We need to have a process that is going to get them engaging so that oh, these are the people who are my ideal client. Step 3 is after you've gotten that person to engage and do your call to action, then we absolutely need to track and follow up with them and get into the conversations, which is where we convert. And so again, I love your strategy. I love what you're teaching. I love to see your results, obviously, which is so, so incredible. And so what I would love for you to talk about, I know you kind of mentioned a few minutes ago, like you're doing a cohort. Can you talk a little bit about what that looks like? What is the price? How do we learn more? And how do I sign up is basically my first question.
Absolutely. So I am offering a 6 week cohort. It's the 6 steps on, it's actually the how to go viral. Like if you follow this and you keep repeating it, you will go viral. But in the meantime, you're going to get lots of new followers. And I'm also going to teach you. So that's the first thing, the 6 steps to go viral. And then we're going to learn how to convert with our content also, because there's no point if we're not getting paid. Like Jenna said, if it doesn't math, it doesn't cash checks, it doesn't go to the bank, then we're not messing with it. It's not for right. Don't care about that. So 6 weeks, I'm going to teach you all of that. You know me, Jenna. I'm going to give away everything because I love, and in fact, I had a hard time even coming up with how to price it. But Jenna's like, you need to put this together. So $99, 6 weeks. It's super cheap, but hashtag beta. This is the first time, so it's going to be a lot of fun, and we are going to smash it.
Okay, so let's just be clear. 6 weeks for $99 of coaching. This is not a $99 course that you go sit and figure out yourself. We are actually saying, which as her coach, I do not condone this, but I think that is amazing and you are a good human. And so thank you for offering that to our community at that price. So just to be clear, that is $16 a week, which is unheard of and frankly unacceptable, but we're going to let it slide because you're offering it to our community. And the more they get results, the happier we are. Do you see how I'm like, as her coach, I'm like, no, but as a recipient of this goodness for our community, I'm like, heck yes, Crystal, let's go. So if you guys want information on her cohort, just say cohort in the chat. She'll send you the link. Obviously, again, it's $99 for 6 weeks of coaching. I don't know who you are, but if you do not have eyeballs on your content, I don't understand how you could pass this up. So amazing. I appreciate that you are giving that ridiculous price to our community.
It will go up in a week and a half. It will go up in a week and a half. This is just the pre-sale because we're just
pre-sale. Okay, cool. Okay, got you. Okay, so if you want the 99, you got to do it now. Okay, love it. So again, just say cohort in the chat. She will reach out via DM. She will connect with you and she will send you the link to get it at the pre-sale price that is available for Group Track groupies. So thank you for making that price for our people. I very much appreciate it. And I'm excited to be there as well. So I would love for you guys to come with me and do this cohort and let's get some more attention. Let's get some more eyeballs. Let's get it moving. Because again, the more people that we have that can actually, see our connection and see our content and see who we are, the more we're going to have relationship with those people. And those are going to be the folks that pay us. So again, in 2024, if you don't have attention and you don't have skills, you're not going to have clients. And so we've got to make a shift. And if you guys are ready to make this shift, we'd love to support you in doing it for a price that you literally cannot refuse. So again, if you guys want information, I see like there's millions of people saying cohort in the chat. I don't know too, Crystal, are you putting a max on this? So like if our people need to hurry, like, or is it just that the price changes in a week, but are you going to like close it?
Nope, the price changes in a week. I'm excited to do this. I'm going to figure out a way to serve and do it.
I love it.
It's just my heart. You know me. So.
I know, I do. I love it. Awesome. Well, so many people are excited. And thank you again for coming in here and teaching us these things. I'm excited to do it myself because we need more eyeballs. And like I said, Facebook has been our jam, but I know that we have to be omnipresent in 2024. And, I think it's important, a lot of people who are here might be wondering like, well, how do you do it? You guys are focused on Facebook. Well, our strategy is, and what most of our clients who are using both platforms is they're doing is they're getting attention on Instagram and they're funneling them right into Group Track. And again, we've got pipelines for that in Group Track built out for you. Catch all, go catch them everywhere, funnel them into your group, right? So again, we've got the strategy, we've got the pipelines, we've got the things, and Crystal's going to help you get that attention. So thank you guys for tuning in. Thank you, Crystal, for being here. You are my favorite human and client, and I love you. And I love all the goodness that you share with our community and so many other people, and your results speak for themselves. So again, so honored to have you in our community and to bless them with this amazing strategy and opportunity to get extra help. So thank you.
Thank you, Jenna. Thank you. And I'm excited. Thank you for letting me be here. I'm like all the feels.
Awesome. All right, guys, get it while it's hot. And we'll talk to you soon, Crystal. I'll see you later. Okay, bye, guys.